I never thought I'd be saying this, but feminine energy will ruin your life. When you start connecting with your feminine energy and you start connecting to your birthright, you start connecting to your power, crazy, unexplainable things start to happen to you. Now, these are things that you can't actually explain to the average person. You start to feel incredibly, effortlessly powerful. You start to draw things to you effortlessly. But sometimes this power can be misused and mistreated. And when it's misunderstood and taken for granted, sometimes it can throw you back to your darkest days. It can throw you back to being in your masculine energy. It can throw you back to toxic cycles. It can throw you back to negative belief systems. It can throw you back to being in fight or flight. Sometimes it can actually cause more harm than good when you don't understand how to use your new God-given powers. So I would only advise you carry on watching this episode if you are genuinely taking this journey to connecting to your feminine energy seriously, or you are already feeling very connected to your feminine energy. Because if you don't know how to use it, this is going to undo all of the work that you've already done. And also, if you're not taking your journey seriously, this episode is not going to make any sense to you. So there's honestly no point of you watching. So if that sounds like you and you are taking your journey super seriously, then stick around and make sure you're sticking around until the end, because it's all coming up right now. Hi, welcome back to The Vibration Vault. My name is Alia Zuri. I help women all over the world navigate their love life in a more feminine way. So if that sounds like something that you want to do, make sure to subscribe to stick around. Okay, let's begin. So it's no secret that when you start to connect with your feminine energy, that you'll no longer have to chase men. You will start to attract men. And I'm not talking about one or two men. I am talking about an abundance of men. I am talking about men flocking to you like bees flock to honey. Sometimes this newfound shift can be overwhelming because you're so used to getting ready, going out with your girlfriends, and eyeing up the hot guys at the club. But you no longer have to do that. Men come to you and approach you everywhere. And these often seem to be very good men. They will come to you in a coffee shop. They will buy you a coffee. They will meet you in your new apartment building that you've just moved into. And they will put their best foot forward with you. However, if you still have some limiting beliefs and self-doubt around your newfound confidence and around your newfound feminine energy, and especially around what you believe is available for you and what you believe you are worthy of and deserving of. From time to time, it can make you feel like a kid in a candy shop. You know, you have so much selection and so much choice, and they are effortlessly coming to you. Now, what you have to watch out for is not who shows up, but who you choose to show up for. Let me give you an example. If you were to give a Birkin bag to a junkie in the street, how would they treat that bag? They would probably carry around trash in that bag. They would probably drop things in that bag. They would probably throw that bag on the street. They would probably disregard it, throw it in the trash, trample on it, use it as a pillow. They're basically going to throw it aside like it's nothing. And that's not because the Birkin isn't valuable. It's because they just simply do not have the knowledge and the capacity like you do to be able to see its obvious value. Well, the same principle applies to you. A woman in her divine feminine energy is going to have men around her and flocking to her constantly. But that's not the problem. The problem is that women stay in spaces where they are so undervalued and so underappreciated far too often. You give your presence and you give your softness and you give your softest, most refined, radiant feminine energy to a man who just doesn't have the capacity, doesn't have the knowledge to see it. And over time, what that does is it's going to erode your self-concept. You're going to start begging this man to change because you're going to think, I get everything I want. I'm in my feminine energy. I can change this man. I can speak to a different version of this man. And although from time to time that can be true, a woman in her feminine energy needs to know when to draw the line. If you've ever felt underappreciated, taken for granted, undervalued, then chances are is that you are pouring all of your love and all of your energy into the wrong places. And what you need to realize is that love isn't about how much you give. It's about where you choose to give it. Think about it like this. Would you serve a 5-star gourmet meal on the lid of a dumpster? Of course you wouldn't. So why would you offer your best, most radiant, most gorgeous, refined, feminine energy, the highest version of yourself that you've created and you've worked so hard on, to a man who just doesn't have the knowledge, doesn't have the capacity to see how special and amazing and perfect and valuable you are? You see, a high-value woman doesn't beg, she moves. The new version of yourself doesn't beg for appreciation. You don't beg for love. You're just simply going to go where you are valued. You can't get caught up on how many men want you. This is just something that you now have to start to normalize. Lots of men are going to want you. It's all about who you choose to be with, who you choose to invest into, who you choose to give your time, love, and attention to. Now, this is what's really interesting. When you are leveling up, and you are discovering and unlocking the highest version of yourself in your feminine energy, when you are discovering your birthright of your feminine energy, God or the universe, whatever you believe in, I believe in God, God will send you tests. And these tests are in the form of men that used to fit the old version of yourself, your old story, and they are sent by God as tests to you to see, who are you going to choose to be? Are you choosing to be the highest version of yourself? Have you learnt? Do you deserve the superpowers that I have given to you? Are you going to be trusted to use these correctly? It's a test to see if you are truly ready to enter this new realm of reality. And these low vibrational men that you just desperately think you can change, no. It's up to you to choose correctly. It's up to you to listen to your intuition. It's up to you to use your behavior as an affirmation, to affirm to the universe and affirm to God, this is who I am choosing to be. And only then will God give you the man of your dreams that you've always envisioned you would be with, that God will give you the type of love you've always prayed and dreamt about. And I want you to play this one line on loop in your head every single day. My behavior is an affirmation. Ask yourself this: who are you choosing to be? If your actions could only speak, would you be the same person who is doing all of those self-love affirmations in the mirror? When you start connecting with your feminine energy and you start really embracing it and unlocking it and stepping into it and owning it, a lot of men are going to gravitate towards you, but not all of those men are going to be good quality men. Like I said, that's the test. It's up to you to effectively choose and eliminate accordingly, according to your intuition, according to what you feel is right in your heart truly. And what sets a truly magnetic woman who is in her feminine energy, who is a high value woman, apart from the rest, is that she doesn't entertain everyone. She could have everyone, but she doesn't entertain everyone. Let me give you another example. Let's say you are a high-end jewelry store. You have the most beautiful diamonds in the world. You have 24 karat gold. You have the most beautiful rare gemstones in your store. You are not going to let anybody off the street walk into that shop. You're not going to have a system and security on the door that allows just anybody to walk in. You are going to have a security system there. You are going to have cameras there. You are going to have a process. You are going to have rules of how many people are allowed in the store at one given time. If somebody looks sketchy, you're not going to let them in the store. You're also going to put the most prized possessions that you own in that store in a safe, locked away, so not anybody can access that. Now, that's exactly how you have to treat yourself. So how do you go where you are valued? First of all, stop explaining your worth to a man. If he doesn't see it initially right off the bat, if he is not besotted with you from the get-go, like he is obsessed with you, he is not your man. If you have to convince him, it's not your man. simple. The next thing that you have to do is recognize how he treats you when you stop giving to him. You are going to see a man's true colors when you stop giving to him. A man who loves you in his healthy masculine energy is going to see that you have stopped giving, and he's going to step up even more because he has fear of losing you. He can read this emotional disconnect as an opportunity to pull his weight even more. The next thing that you have to make sure you are doing is make sure you are going where you are valued. This is in relationships, and this is also in friendships, because if your behavior is an affirmation and all of your friends don't value and respect you, how are you going to attract a man who values and respects you? Especially if, as humans, we observe how other people treat other people. And sometimes subconsciously we mirror that behavior. So if your friends are not treating you very nicely, 9 times out of 10 that man is going to think that he can get away with treating you below a certain standard. And the next thing that you have to make sure you're doing is setting high standards. I have other episodes on this on my channel, but being soft and nurturing and feminine doesn't mean tolerating less than what you actually deserve. I want you to remember that failing these tests and entertaining these men, even if it's just for a bit of fun, even if it's just a casual situationship, that is not going to help you find the love of your life. Although you think it's just you passing time, it's not. Your behavior is an affirmation of who you are. It's what the universe and God is preparing to bring for you. If you are okay having something casual in the meantime and hoping to find your dream man who loves and adores you, I promise you, he can read that energy a mile off. No matter how well put together you are, no matter how well spoken you are, no matter how beautiful you are and how good your hair looks, choosing those bare minimum men, just even as a bit of fun, is exactly what's going to throw you back into your masculine energy. It's going to cost you hundreds and thousands in therapy. It's going to cost you generational curses, because this is something that could then be passed on to your children. This belief that men will always hurt you, this belief that men will always cheat on you, this belief that women are not good enough, this belief that all men are the same. Why are you choosing to believe that? And if you have trained that out of yourself, why are you now choosing a man who's going to throw you straight back into that toxic belief system that you've worked so hard to train out of yourself? Every single day you are working on becoming that better version of yourself, and you're ready to undo it all for a man who doesn't love you, doesn't respect you, doesn't prioritize you, doesn't put you first, doesn't buy you gifts, doesn't take you on a date. Where is your self-respect? You are so much better than that. You are a goddess level type of woman. The moment you step into your feminine energy and you realize that what you were asking for was never too much. You were never being unreasonable. It was never you living in a dream world. It was never you just being completely unrealistic. You were simply asking the wrong man, and love will start to feel like it is the most beautiful and easy and safe place to be in the world, because God or the universe will bring you the right man. But remember that your behavior is an affirmation. If you are looking for some more tailored one-to-one help, I have some freebies in my description down below. You can check that out on my Stan store. I also have some other ways that you and I can work together. So that is a wrap for today's episode. Until next time, I love you. Mwah. Bye.